Imagine having a job where you cost your company $10 million, even $10,000, but $10 million, and yet you still get to keep your position and your benefits.
A man who claims he was violently arrested by Dearborn police sues the city and wins big.
A jury awarding nearly $10 million to the victim, who says he was only asking for directions. Here's Fox News' Hillary Golson with more on this historic settlement.
You basically cost your community $10 million. Now insurance premiums are going to go up in that city because of what this cop did when he didn't have to do it.
Context is very important here. Luther Gonzalez Hall was coming from a friend's house on his bike. He wanted to be sure that he was heading the right way to get home when he was attacked by an officer seemingly without provocation after asking for directions. The suit he won not only alleges violations of constitutional rights, but false imprisonment and arrest and battery and the wrongful charging of a crime.
I told you where it was at, right? So why are you in here asking the same thing?
That's a Dearborn police officer speaking with Luther Gonzalez Hall inside a White Castle back in 2018.
I'm not for sure where I'm going. I told you where to go.
All right, thank you.
Is that accurate or no?
Yeah.
So why are you in here?
I was just making sure.
Then 20-year-old Gonzalez Hall had stopped to speak with the officer outside, but was still convicted.
Did you know that? I didn't even know there was a law where if you ask a cop a question and he answers it, you can't ask that same question to somebody else. This cop got so offended that the guy wasn't going to believe him for directions, but had the gall to ask somebody else for the same directions, that he went hands on and just beat this guy.
Or I asked him for directions, and he was just being rude already and cursing at me and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get away from him. I feel like he was having a bad day. So that's why I went to the White Castles and tried to ask them, because I've been there plenty of times. I was trying to find my way home, and I kept asking him, what did I do? What did I do?
What did I do? What did I do? I'm sorry, what did I do?
Looking at the jury's $9.3 million verdict, the answer to that is nothing, except decide to get out of there.
Come here, guy. Come here. Yo.
Whoa.
Gonzalez Hall would eventually be tackled.
Luther had a right to resist, because as a citizen, most people don't know this, you can resist an unlawful arrest. So the officer figures, he resisted, I'm going to stick him with the charge of resisting and opposing.
The charge was dropped. Luther has had several surgeries, including...
Look at these photos right here. Look at these photos. This is what this cop did to this kid. A kid who was, what's his crime? Asking for directions and then asking again to the people in the White Castle. That's all that it took for this cop to go off and go ballistic on this kid, costing his city $9.3 million, because this cop will never feel the consequences for his actions because he has the blanket of protection that we call qualified immunity. This is certainly qualified stupidity, and this qualified immunity is going to protect that cop and the fraternal order of police like Kevlar until kingdom come. My question is, when do we change this? It's utterly ridiculous that we have any human beings, or that any human being would consent to this. If the problem with our world is that we have criminals running amok, then the last thing you want to do is give those criminals a gun, a utility belt, and the authority of the state to run roughshod over the rest of us.
Multiple on his foot, according to his attorney, and has been left with permanent damage.
My dad was a cop. My dad would have given him a ride home. My dad would have called, his mom, his dad, or somebody to say, hey, he's a little disoriented. Can you come pick him up?
My dad would have given him a ride home after he initiated unjust force and violence on people who were, say, transporting illegal plant matter. Come on, this is across the board. We either have rights in America or we don't. We either have a protection class called law enforcement who's going to fulfill their oath to protect and defend and uphold the Constitution, which includes upholding your right to freedom of speech, freedom of protection, freedom to do anything you want to on American soil, as long as you're not harming, threatening to harm, or damaging people's stuff and not paying for it.
I'm just happy that people that didn't even know me, let me get my rights, because all the officers said that I didn't have no rights when they were doing that to me.
Of course, I reached out to Dearborn to see if they had any reaction to this verdict. I didn't hear back, but I wanted to know whether or not this officer is still working for the department and in what capacity.
I have no doubt that he, just like so many others before him, will be reduced to desk duty, and he'll get to keep his salary and he'll get to keep his pension. That's just a guess, because, you know, history teaches us that the tyrants favor their other fellow tyrants. See, when you've got people who are ruling you, of course they're going to make it the normal course of action to, like I said, run roughshod all over the rest of us in the name of law. It's called deprivation of rights under color of law. What law did this Dearborn officer think that he was operating under? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support further, the links are in the description below. Grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design. You can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, hat, cell phone case, pillowcase, whatever you want. And if you want to support the channel, become a channel member. It's only $2.99 a month. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance, and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I will see you in the next video.